Welcome to Ask Wayne, everyone. Today with me, I have the honor and privilege of interviewing I would say a hero in my eyes because of the story he just told me. And yeah, I have the privilege and honor of interviewing Eric Patrick Thomas again. Thank you very much. When I say again, you guys have to go back in the archives and listen to his original interview because his original interview was amazing. So, yes, I'm going to welcome Eric again to reintroduce himself, and then we'll just take it away from there. So, welcome, Eric.
Yes, thank you for having me back. It's a
You're
great
welcome.
day.
Thank you
It's
for
awesome.
coming on. And for the listeners that don't know, could you please share your story and what you do for work other than take care of your own body?
Right now, I am talking to you, and for anybody that wants to know what I look like, I am wearing a black T-shirt with a white Inspire logo, and I have headphones on, and I have a straw in front of my face, which is the way I control my wheelchair. It's a power wheelchair, and then behind me, I just have two windows and some curtains. Mm, not a big scenery, but I'm just sitting in my room right now, ready for this awesome interview. Uh, my story. Wow. Where to begin? It's now 23 years later, really, since I got injured. So I'm celebrating 23 years life after injury, which brings me back to you because I made a goal to be interviewed on 23 different shows to celebrate, the life after injury. So 23 years ago, I'm a hip hop artist, love hip hop music. I was having a record release party or music function at our house. My group was called Miscellaneous, and we had it on September 19th, but September 20th is when it started. And I went outside to check the parking lot just to make sure everything was going good. And then I went back to the stairs. And I was about to go back in the house, talking with my girlfriend at the time. Few people on the porch, other people on the cement, just everything peaceful. Then all of a sudden, someone pulls a gun, but bow, 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 bow. And that's exactly how it went. And
Yeah.
without even just thinking, it was just so fast, so it's like a flash. I was instantly struck right in the neck and the third and fourth vertebrae. That bullet is lodged right there, right now, and it took me to the ground. I dropped to the ground, lifeless, down. I was not able to move anything after that. I wasn't able to yell for help. It was like, hey, help me. Or I don't even know if I was able to cry or shed tears. I was just there. Every function was shut off. And that not to mention even my breathing. So I wasn't even able to breathe on my own. So I was struggling to breathe. I mean, I was, uh, coughing and then blood and foam and chaos was going on the outside. I could hear someone's been shot, Eric's been shot, people running, people scattering, people trying to say things. And then there happened to be a guy taking EMT classes that was at the party. He came out and stabilized me until the ambulance got there. Now, from doing these interviews, I'm not sure if I was intubated at the scene of where I was shot at or it happened in the hospital. But if you think about it, I was not able to breathe on my own.
No.
So where that comes from, like, because I don't, from loss of oxygen, there's no like any type of brain damage that they've ever suspected or found. Because when I got to the hospital, that's like I know that I had tubes in my mouth, and then they had to drill 4 screws in my skull to stabilize my spine for a halo. So they put two in your forehead and then one under, one run up right above each ear, and then the tubes are in my throat, and then my feeding tube down my throat with it.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and there's my mom and stepdad and my dad and stepmom and some friends and family and medical staff, and that's where you learn what happened again. And then you also are like, whoa, I'm not able to move. Why am I not moving? What's going on? But at the same time, you have to focus. You're focused on survival, so you don't really have time to think about. why is this not happening? It's like I got to stay alive
Yeah,
because I want to live. I got things to. I got so much more to do. Whatever happened, I feel incomplete or incomplete. I feel like I got more to do,
yeah.
more of a mission, more action.
Got more to do. You got
Yeah.
more, to do. And are you still to this day doing graphic design ones? I know you transferred from being a hip hop artist to graphic designer. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing everything. Actually, I started doing music again um back in 2000, what, 17 maybe, with the D-Man Foundation. So I'm recording again hip hop music. I don't have any release date of any of my projects. I just make music and just enjoy performing. So I
Yeah,
am back on stage performing. I haven't performed in about a year or so because I was on bed rest. Um, well, since like the beginning of 2018. But yeah, I'm back doing music, and then I opened up a business November of 2011, graphic design, branding, apparel, and marketing materials. And of course, I have Jessie, my graphic design artist and assistant, and she's the one that makes all the designs that you see on the website and social media pages. And then from there, we launched the Inspire brand, and we've been just rocking the Inspire brand strongly, like globally. I mean, it's been beautiful. It's a childhood dream come into life years later, and just waking up. I just love that I wake up. I say my prayers, and I'm thankful for every day that I wake up, no matter what the conditions are, and that I'm able to work on my dream. I'm able to live the dream. I'm able to work on Inspire. Like, that's it, and able to help people, be able to advocate, be able to be a service for people, mentor, and be able to create music and perform and just enjoy life and eat food. Love eating food.
yeah.
I'm a foodie. I'm a
I
foodie.
Foodie, I can know. Hinted, most people with disabilities are foodies. I am a foodie myself, so I, other than journalism, I love food, and and it's like, okay, you love food because I can't cook, but I appreciate every single thing that people put down in front of me, and yeah, and so, what is your favorite audiobook if you have one?
It's great. That's a great question because when we had our interview before, I didn't have, you know, the voice that you say A to, and then she responds. But I
Yeah.
have one now that's completely hands free. I mean, I can just say the command, and my book's on Audible, and I'm like, whoa! In fact, I just bought your book yesterday. When
I
I
win.
win, I win. Yeah, I got that. I got that yesterday,
That's why I
and
put
it,
it on. I'm
yeah,
laughing because that's why I put it on Audible, so that certain smart speakers named A could play the Audible version, and I thank you for that. But no, but the Amazon smart speaker, even though she's a little bit of annoying sometimes and doesn't want to do half of the stuff we say,
yeah,
it's a great assistive device. People
yeah.
use her as every day, but we use her as a assistive device. And I just got myself a Google also assistive device.
Okay,
Google. And so it's still in this box. I haven't unpacked it yet because I'm going to do something very, very special with it. But
uh,
I am super impressed that you mentioned the A word because the Amazon smart speaker, because I'm like, okay, you can use the Amazon smart speaker as an assistive device.
yeah. Without a doubt, this is a game changer. Smart technology right now, where it's this hands free, where the one that you got Google and what I have here,
Yeah.
it is completely. I mean, back in the day, we used to have to pay. thousands of dollars and have an assessment done just to turn on a light, just to be able to turn the channel of the TV. Now with this smart technology, I mean, I'm able to read books or listen to books. I'm able to listen to news. I'm able to just say play music. I'm able to I'm
Listen
able to use the phone.
podcast,
I'm able to call. I'm
listen
able to dial out and call people, and it's just amazing. It's a part of my life without it, and it's not
trust
the
me,
the
I have the Amazon smart speaker too, you guys. You guys know that. You've heard it go off in background. And
yeah,
so, while listening to this podcast. So I think the technology is getting better and better and better.
yeah.
And
But
so,
why?
yeah.
But when are they going to market it to us? When are we going to see the commercials about us? When are we going to be on TV? And it's
I
got us, and it changes the whole life. It's not that it's hip and cool, that it like we don't want to touch things because we're not able to, or we're not able to read or see something. Like it's like you given it, and it's like this is a part of my life. This improves the quality of my life. When is that? When is that going to happen? Because we're the ones that need this stuff.
I know. When is that going to happen? When are you listening to Amazon? Probably. Are you listening to,
Yeah,
yeah, put disabled in the commercials and do it for the do it for the home. I mean, geez. I have a special announcement coming out tomorrow, and I am taking two smart speakers with me to somewhere that I can't say yet. But I'm taking two smart speakers and I'm immediately hooking them up because smart speaker technology has now changed the disabled for the better.
yeah, yeah. But what I mean, it's came a long ways. There's a lot more. There's a long ways to go, but that's with everything, with accessibility, with healthcare,
Yeah.
with you name it, with representation. I mean, representation for people with disabilities. It's getting better, but it still has a long way to go. But they have to reach out to us if we're out there, especially you. Like I go on Facebook and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try and get 23 shows, and I'm on every podcast group. And who do I see? Win is the profile to everyone. You
Yeah,
are a hustler. You
yeah,
are a hustler. You
I
are
am.
everyone,
I am.
every single one.
I am everything going. I try my hardest to get myself out there as much as you do. And when you said that, I'm like, okay, time for a second interview, Eric, because yeah, time for a second interview because I think your story is so unbelievably inspired. And the fact that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time and completely able-bodied go out and check a parking lot and then go down literally and then come back up and rise above the ashes. And it's so funny because I thought about you the other day because I interviewed a person who's now done. His name was Patrick, and his episode
Oh,
is out, by the way, you guys. And he's He's invented a he's invented a pressure sore mattress.
okay,
Literally. He's invented a pressure sore mattress. And I want you to go listen to that episode now. And I want
okay,
everyone else listening to your story to go listen to it because this technology that he's invented is amazing. And I'm actually getting one so I can test it out myself. He's actually sending me one because I
nice.
you were the one person I thought of. I'm like, Eric could use this. Every disabled person could use it. And he says, Patrick said it is flying off the shelves now because of COVID and the hospitals needing it. And no, and as I told Patrick, and I'll tell you, pleasure stores are not fun. Pleasure stores
No,
are not fun, And yeah, can you get into how you started 2019? Could you get into that?
2018.
18. Sorry.
2018, and it wasn't even a pressure wound, but because I have a spinal cord injury, that's what it's automatically when you have a skin breakdown, it
Yeah.
must be skin breakdown or pressure wound. So March 1st, 2018, my caregiver does skin check at night. We do skin check morning and night, but I heard her gasp like the air just. And she says, "You got a hole in your body." Now I didn't know the severity of it, because I've been there before. Some skin breakdown, a pressure wound. You do what you do, side to side, front. 30-degree offloading, and saline, cleaning it properly, sterile. All the things that you learn from that experience. But yeah, we started going to the wound care clinic a little bit later, and they it was a big hole right in the coccyx area, right by the tailbone area, and they would stuff it with silver rope and sizzle. They would debris it and sizzle me like steak, and it was rough. And I did wound care every night, and also from the bed rest led to other problems. And so June 11th, my lungs collapsed, and I was at O2 level of 40. My oxygen level went to 40.
Great.
So
Oh,
call the
great.
ambulance. Call the ambulance. Of course, in the middle of the night, another happening around the same time as the shooting, another incident.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting in the ambulance. I get to the hospital. About that time, I was not with it. They tried to pump me with oxygen 100%. They weren't able to do it. So I got intubated again and with the feeding tube. So trying to figure out what was going on the next day, and then I came out of it, and I had to communicate with a toothbrush pointing at like a bingo card
Uh,
because I wasn't able to talk
yeah.
because I had the tubes in my mouth. So we did that for 15 days, except 5 days later, they thought that they could take the tube out and I would be able to breathe. Well, I was struggling all night, and then in the morning, the respiratory therapist came in and she said it was a Saturday morning. She said we got to intubate you again, and I was like, okay, so maybe they're going to give me some kind of anesthetic or something, Is this I and no, they called for the anesthesia or something to come down. Like in 5 minutes, they tilt the bed all the way upside down, put a rubber block in my mouth, and shoved this big, huge pipe that looked like the kitchen sink down my throat. And they were like, he was like, "Don't fight me," but like, don't fight Mr. Thomas. I'm like, then once they do that, then I'm like, oh, my eyes are watering. I'm like, okay, it's over. It's in there. They're like, now we got to do the feeding tube. What? So
Oh,
then they had to do the
yeah.
feeding
You did
tube.
that without anesthesia. Gee,
Yeah,
peace.
with nothing, no painkillers, no
Oy,
nothing, just straight. They
oy,
had to do it with me straight awake, and I watched it. And then, so
oy.
15 days later, I was able to get unintubated or get the tube out, get the feeding tube out, and did the swallow test. I passed that. I came home July 6th on my birthday, and then I had to get back to healing the collapsed lungs because I had two collapsed lungs, and then I had to heal the wound too. And then so I did that, and then I was fundraising for a van. I had a fundraiser in August at the Polish Legion to help, start with the raising money for the van. And then I was back on bed rest. I went to that, and I just went to the wound care center, and I went to the urologist every 2 weeks. Then it becomes 2019, and we're now a year into it. We're at March, and we're still dealing with everything, and it's like, wow, a whole year went by. Well, then May comes, and the wound care center's done like 5 experimental treatments with liquid, with rope, trying to close the hole. It would not work. They were like, "Where we've done everything we can do. You're gonna have to find surgery or do the next step." I got a second
Yeah.
opinion, and Dr. Rubin called him that day, and I went down the next day. And about 1 o'clock, I got transferred from my chair into a Trixie lift sling, Hoyer lift onto his table. Then he looked at the wound. He said, That's not a pressure wound. That's a bone infection. That's an exit wound."
Oh, no.
So while they
Yeah.
were trying to close it, the body's like, "No, don't close me. I need to be open." So we take cultures and blood tests, nutrition, and everything like that. Following week, I told him I didn't want to do IV antibiotics. I want to do oral. So we do our research. He's like, good news. So you can do oral. So I go on oral antibiotics for 9 weeks. It was rough, really, really rough, 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 rough.
Yeah.
Stomach trying to eat. Oh, it was bad.
Oh,
But I learned from
yeah.
that. And then I healed. So we said high five. We said hallelujah. Everything's great. And I got back in my chair and we went and started going to the shop again. Easy awareness by design. A brick and mortar shop inside Goodwill store up in Flint. And then 3 weeks later, a little dot shows up on my right cheek, right where the issue is, and we thought it was a pimple. It could be a mosquito bite, bug bite, but we monitored it, and then after we monitored it, it just started getting harder and rounder and redder, and then the skin just dropped out, and then there was a big hole, a funnel. So I went back to Dr. Rubin, and he was like, "I don't know how to tell you this. You relapsed. You'll be relapsed on the bone infection, so I got to put you back on antibiotics." And I was like, "Really?" He was like, "You've done it before. You can do it again. You're tough." I'm like, "All right." So this time I just took everything that I learned from the first 9 weeks and put it into use for the next 8 weeks. And then it was healed. And then December 20th, Inspire Friday, I went and got my new wheelchair accessible van at Gresham. Yeah. It took 30 months to fundraise for I got the Chrysler Pacifica Touring L Plus. It's awesome. It's from Braun and Gresham. And Damon John also helped out midway when I was fundraising. I got I have a couple of his co-workers, of his team players, team workers, and I worked with George and Sherry, and that's so while I was on bed rest, I'm fundraising for a van, and then here's 2020, everything's good. I'm back up. I got my van. I'm in my chair. I'm healed. Then the pandemic hits, and I'm like, whoa, okay, we had a plan. I already had a plan in action early because I could see this like expanding in things, and it said, if it gets to be a pandemic, I'm going to leave my house and move in with my caregiver temporarily, and then I'll be able to get 24-hour care, but eliminate any risk. And so we'll close the business. Jesse will stay home. The rest of my caregivers will stay home with their families or if they live by themselves. But we'll all be safe until we figure out what we're dealing with. I didn't think it was going to be as long as it was. So here we are. I come home July. So I did that mid-March. I came home July 26th, back at the house. Now I got to get all my caregivers back on board. We got to implement all the new PPE, all the new policies and rules,
Yeah.
masks and gloves and sanitizer, and making sure that they really follow through. Because some people don't want to wear masks
No.
out in this world. So, but you have to tell them in this household, we protect
You
each
have
other.
to
We
do it
protect. We
now.
protect.
I
Right.
had I had a conversation with one of my caregivers about that. She what now she doesn't, but she wasn't being best at it, and I'm like, oh, lovely. No, and
I was.
I even called the my my case manager. I even called high up and said, "Well, what do we do?" And they said to me, they go, "It's really up to the client," meaning it's really
Mhm,
up to you. And I'm like, "Oh, you're not helping.
not at
You're not
all.
helping at all."
And I understand that because when the pandemic hit, I was contacting the governor's office and saying, look, I'm here to advocate for people with disabilities. What happens if someone gets COVID? How are they going to get treated? Who's going to take care of them? How are they going to do isolation? What if it's one of their caregivers? Who's going to be there for that person? What if, and then they were like, well, that's up to the agency. I said, people don't just have agencies. People have people that take care of them independently. I said, what if a person was taking care of their family member, like a daughter taking care of a mother, and that's the only person that they have? She gets COVID. Who's going to take care of her mother? They had no answers. There was just no answers. There was just really wasn't.
There's
Um,
nothing on it.
and it was just trying, I was just doing what I could do, just giving sure that we were empowering and letting them know that people with disabilities are here. Make sure that you put that in the CARES Act and the COVID plan, whatever it is, because we need to be involved. We need to be in there where there needs to be, if someone has autism, they have to go to the hospital. Is the person that is with them going to be able to go there with them?
Yeah,
or someone that's deaf, are they going to be able to have their interpreter? So there was all these things in the very beginning that I was like sending them nonstop. And I went on Facebook and asked people to give me questions to send to the governor's office. So that, and I just gave a long list. These are all the questions and concerns and fears that are happening right now from people with disabilities in your state of Michigan. So we need to address them. So I think that some of them were addressed that they could. I would say that there was some good cooperation happening. There was good momentum happening, but you had to be on top of it. But that's okay. You got to be consistent. You got to be an advocate. When you have a voice, you got a circle of supports and resources, and you're able to get the message to the right people. Then
yeah.
you got to be responsible. You got to be that warrior. You got to be out there for the people that don't have a voice, for
Yes.
the voiceless.
Voice
So
for the voiceless, my tagline. My tagline, Eric. That's my tagline. Jeez, I didn't realize that my tagline was gonna come back full circle. And through a pandemic, jeez, I did not realize that. Yeah, I thought that I was going to do this part time. I didn't realize that I was going to do journalism full time since March. I lost my job. I lost my part time job, which was a blessing in disguise. Now I can take care of myself and do journalism, but I'm like, okay, what's what's how I like you got scared at the beginning of this, and I put myself in self quarantine. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
right, we didn't. Nobody. It was so new.
Yeah,
I guess that's why they call it a novel virus because it's new to people. Uh, and you're like, okay, well, I just need some. That's why I went to my caregiver's house and I was like, I just need some time to just think and just be able to have care and not have to be on the computer and wondering if someone's coming in because they don't know what's going on. Or it was, I have 4 or 5 people in my house throughout a normal day or an average day. So I didn't, in that it was, I was able to like actually go to sleep because the person that comes in the morning was I was there. So that was a little different, and I was like, okay, it gave me time to just be able to let me just relax, be calm, map it out, ask questions, figure out what we're dealing with, do some
yeah,
studying. What is a coronavirus? What is SARS? What is, MERS? What is this? What is the CDC? You know what I mean? Like I signed up on the newsletters.
yeah,
I contacted CDC. It was like, okay, so this is what this is. Okay, so SARS is this, SARS-2 is this. Coronavirus has been around for a long time, but this is COVID-19 because it's this, it's novel. The way that so you just learn. It was a learning, a learning process. I did my homework. Um, and then I just asked questions and just wanted to be there for people that were just needing help. They were just needing help because it was so new. And then my friend started making face masks or face shields. He had a 3D printer. With me, I have a straw, so I'm not able to put a mask on and drive my chair. And so he made face shields, and he came down to my house. And I'm the third shield that he made. And then he said, "Here, let's try this." And I was like, "Yeah, I can protect myself and protect other people, and still drive my
I
wheelchair with
love
the
it.
straw."
I love it.
Yeah,
So some a friend of yours made you a face shield that adapted adapted a face shield to you. Jeez, I love it.
yeah. But then from there, he started Operation Face Shields, Kevin Lessler. He started Operation Face Shields group on Facebook. Then other people with 3D printers started making them. And then he had an operation down in Ann Arbor. And then he got the Ann Arbor distillery to actually have a headquarters outside. And then all these people started making these face shields. They probably have made 80,000, 90,000 face shields now. And
Yeah,
they were all free. They were delivered. They were donated. And then a guy this that has his own plane says, you know what? I could fly these if you need them flown. So sent somewhere. So the guy on his own time, his own using his plane. Now they're flying them out of the state to people, to hospitals, to nurses that are like, I need a face shield. You put
I
then
love it. I love
yeah.
it. I love it.
It's
I
just
love it.
amazing story.
It's just the power of COVID-19. No, as I said, the power of social media, the power of COVID-19. COVID-19, I believe, has brought out the best in people. It's also brought out the worst in people, but it's primarily brought out the best in people. And
Yeah.
we're now living with people that we've not unexpectedly lived with. And my stepmom and I got closer. Last last time we talked, here's the update on me. I lost my dad in 2019.
Oh,
So
sorry to
I
hear that. Sorry to hear that.
oh, that's okay. But I lost mom in 2010 and dad in 2019.
Hmm.
So of course, um, I'm now living with my stepmom and caregivers. Caregivers come out throughout the day, but my stepmom does the primary care, but at night. But I'm thinking, okay, at at the time at the beginning of all this, I was scared half to death, just like every other disabled person on the planet. I'm like, what happens if I go down or one of my caregivers goes down? Who
Mhm.
the heck do I call?
Right. There was no answers at that time. There really was. The only answer I got was it was the agency that would handle that, and I was like,
Yeah,
no, there's people that are on self-determination. There's people that don't even have anybody. They're just a family member taking care of them. Everybody is not using some kind of structured agency. That is not how it goes. People, I said, people that have disabilities actually live independently with services, and then they also work. You know,
yes,
they have jobs, they own a company, they have
yeah,
lives. So
exactly. No, you and I will fight in the same page. You and I will fight in the same page at the beginning, and I think we're still going to fight the same page. So, as we wrap this interview up, do you have any questions for me?
I did, but I think some of them got answered because we turned this into a pretty awesome conversation.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean, some of we it was definitely about COVID. So you already answered that. That was one of them I already had.
yeah.
Also the technology, the smart technology, that was another one.
Small technology.
Um,
There we go.
I would say, okay, let's talk about this. Um, what do you feel needs to happen so that people with disabilities are not underrepresented?
Oh, how many hours do we have?
I
This is
know.
this is a subject that is near and dear to my heart. I feel like we need to um, put, and I'm not kidding when I say this, we need to put a state representative, both a man and a woman, in who are in wheelchairs so that these state representatives, whether it be California, Colorado, Michigan, Florida, understand what it's like to be a disabled person. We have all
Mhm.
these able bodied state representatives walking around, and Obamacare is going through its paces right now. And it's if President Joe Biden didn't get elected, I had a plan. I was going to make a phone call and to someone that knows me and works with me, and I was going to say, I don't care what I have to do, get me on private health insurance now, because I was so scared the night of the election that the person we have in office now, that shall not be named, was going to go back into office and take Obamacare away completely. And that was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear. And so I think that at the state representative level, I think that they need to put the disabled in the seats.
Right. And I'm with you there. Like not just represented, but city council in your city, House and Senate. There,
Yeah.
and I guess it's up to
And
us. I guess it's up to us to get together and get a not put a candidate in there because they use a wheelchair or crutches or something, because they are going to be a really good, awesome candidate and be a voice and be working for the people that have disabilities, and say, look, we have voting power. What was it? 30 million of us. 30 million of us vote. We have some voting power.
yeah, we
And
do.
the representatives and people that are, whether it's president or mayor or governor, whatever, they need to start recognizing that we got a lot of voting power. And if we could just organize, which we're working on it,
Yeah.
we would be able to really start to say, you know what, we need to put this person in. We need to put this person in because we have to start, like you said, the Obamacare, adapt, sacrifice their lives. I mean, remember when they were in the Capitol or laying on the ground, because to just affordable health care,
Yeah.
and that's not just for them, that's for
Affordable
everybody.
healthcare.
I
Affordable
mean,
healthcare.
yeah, I
We
mean, why are we not able to have affordable health care? Why have we not figured, it's just we should be taking care of all of us here.
yes.
We should be making sure that we have the best quality of life here in the US. We should be
Yeah.
making sure that jobs are protected and that people have the opportunity to start a job or be able to work and work in their ability, not just put someone with a disability as a host. Ask that person what they're good at. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses and what can we train you? What is your passion? That person may be an awesome speaker, even if they're not able to move from the neck down. They may be great back in a
Well,
certain department,
yes.
so we
Well,
just
if
got
you look at if
we
you
just
look
got to keep the fight on.
talking and what he did, he was amazing. And he didn't have mobility. And yet he was amazing scientist. And if you look at Dr. Demogram out of Colorado, um, she's amazing at that. And so
Yeah,
we kind of really realize what people with disabilities hidden gifts and talents are.
we work extra hard, you know.
That's all I'll say about that.
We
I don't want to get on soapbox.
we right. Well, I mean, we work hard. We're constantly on the grind because we just want we want to be a part of the community and a part of this country. We don't want to be always talking about why is this not accessible? Why is this not this? We don't want to be that. We want to go to a place to be like, man, this is nice. Sidewalks and curb cuts and braille menus for my friends that are able to see or they're hard of seeing. You got closed caption for my friends that like this is nice. This is the way. This is an open doors. You're accepting everyone. You're trying to really bring everybody that's in the community. You're
Yes.
really bringing it in, and it's like I'm tired of being invisible. I'm tired. I'm tired of being invisible.
I'm
I'm,
sick and tired of being people know this. I'm about to get doubly diagnosed here, and I'm sick of and tired of fighting with my doctor for asthma medication. I'm sick and tired of being sick, quite
yeah.
frankly. As if
Yeah,
cerebral wasn't enough, now I have asthma to deal with, and asthma's genetic in my family, by the way. And so I'm sick and tired of being sick
right.
and fighting with my doctor and calling my doctor and saying, "Oh, did you refill my prescription?" No, your prescription never got called in by your doctor. I'm like, ugh. Then I had a wild goose chase that one, and it's like, really, I'm sick and tired of being sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what? Some of the sickness is contributing because we're
yeah.
battling. We're
Well,
battling. It's your concentration. They're slowly trying to they're tearing you down and tearing you apart. And you're like, whoa, you just have to know we got to get up. we because we got a voice. You got you got a huge outlet, and
Yeah.
we got to. People aren't here anymore too, so we got to live for them. We got to live for the people that aren't here anymore. So
No.
we got to pay homage to all the people right now that sacrificed and fought for us, so that you and I are sitting here are talking right now,
Yes.
independently and living life. Right.
Exactly. No. Exactly. And so this monkey business about chasing doxes and chasing every which way. I'm like, hello, doctors have got to understand what's going on. Doctors have got to understand that they have people with disabilities and they have disabled patients and help us out here.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I go if I go to a doctor, you have to fill out like a healthcare form. It's like, do you have headaches? Are you hot? Do you get this? I'm like, I have a spinal cord injury. All the above that I've experienced. I
Yes.
experience muscle spasms. I experience chest pains. I experience where I'm not able to breathe because my diaphragm is paralyzed. I experience sweats because my temperature control is out of whack. I experience headaches because of autonomic hypodysreflexia. Where's the form for me? Where's the form that says I want the form that fits for the body of Eric,
We're
or where?
the farm for cerebral palsy. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
with farm for cerebral palsy. Jeez. So, Alec, where can people find you and where can people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of your beautiful clothing line, Inspire, or your beautiful graphic design work, or you, just you in person?
I would say Google Eric Patrick Thomas, EricPatrick, and then Thomas Thomas. That'd be the first thing. Space it out, and then on social media, it's Eric Patrick Thomas for Facebook and for Instagram. But Twitter, it's Eric P Thomas, and then Inspire, it's Inspire Shirt. Except Instagram, it's Inspire Shirt number one, and then the website is inspireshirt.com. Inspireshirt.com, and or you could do easyawareness.com. They're both going to lead you into the same spot. But just reach out to me if you like what you hear. If you have some concerns or questions, you need help, some service, you need help with fun, right? Like there's a lot of things that I've experienced in this 23 years of life after injury. In So there's any way that I can reach out or mentor or put you in the right direction, just reach out to me. Just let me know. Be patient. I will get back with you. It's very busy, and
Right. But
you know,
Eric is a warrior like myself, and we're just trying to do the best we can at advocacy. And I appreciate you guys for listening. And Eric, sorry, and please, 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 if you have a podcast, please, I beg of you, invite Eric on because Eric needs to be heard just as much as I do, just as much as Susie Q down the street with autism. And so, what disabled people are here to say.
that's right. Don't forget to go to Amazon. I win.
Oh,
Go get
no,
I
I
win.
did not. I did not. Yes, yes, yes. Eric is correct. Amazon, I come a win. And yeah, it's on Audible and it's on the Amazon smart speaker, and this podcast is on the Amazon smart speaker too, you guys, if you guys haven't figured that one out. So have at it. Go, shoo. Go, shoo, and support people with disabilities. And
Yeah.
please just make this world a better place for disabilities and then make us happy. And I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed Eric's story. Thanks to you guys. Bye, you guys.
Thank you for having me on.